Big news for our listeners. The 7th edition of the Scope and Standards of Medical Surgical Nursing Practice is now available.
This is the guidebook for all medical surgical nurses.
The Scope and Standards defines medical surgical nursing, outlines the role that a medical surgical nurse plays within a hospital, and reviews ethical issues.
Plus, the guidebook includes, in great detail, the scope of practice and recommended standards for nursing practice and professional performance.
Get your copy today at amsn.org. On this episode of Med-Surg Moments,
with hundreds of thousands of followers and video views in the millions, Nurse Brenden, aka Brenden Hamilton, is a real-life Med-Surg nurse turned content creator.
When I first started, when I was a new grad, I was like, what am I doing? Like, I have no clue what is going on half the time. I feel stupid all the time. A Med-Surg unit is kind of like being on a reality TV show. I made a video where I was pretending to rizz up my charge nurse because I didn't want to take up an admission. I was like, you know what, that'd be a funny TikTok. So I posted
You just have to decompress somehow. If you don't laugh about it, you'll just cry.
is Cindy based off of a real-life charge nurse, or is she just an amalgamation?
Have you run into any issues with like your employer knowing about your following and all the videos?
So many people say that they think about my situations and they like laugh and it gets them through their shifts. And
Have you gotten any other memorable feedback from your fans? Negative feedback?
my favorite video that I've ever made, I would have to say, is
What are your thoughts on the impact of your videos on the general public regarding perceptions?
we're there to take care of people, but we're also humans too. I feel like a punching bag sometimes.
This is Mary Tess.
Sam.
Eric.
Marcella.
Kellye.
And Sydney. Welcome to Med-Surg Moments, the AMSN podcast.
This podcast is an engaging look at the lives of and surrounding medical surgical nurses.
We're proud Med-Surg nurses just like you, sharing our stories, insights, and experiences to support you in your nursing journey.
If you're a Med-Surg nurse and happen to own a smartphone, there's a good chance you've watched a video that sounds like this.
One at B. Okay, pulse check. Okay, push one at B. Okay, pulse check. Okay, we're in sinus
Brenden,
rhythm.
why'd you code my patient? They're a DNR.
What? You didn't have the purple bracelet on. Cindy, is this your patient? Well, no wonder they didn't have the purple bracelet on, Cindy. You're the nurse. Hi, Mrs. Smith.
What happened? My chest really hurts.
Well, you died.
With hundreds of thousands of followers and video views in the millions, Nurse Brenden, aka Brenden Hamilton, is a real-life Med-Surg nurse turned content creator.
He's built a viral following by showing the hilarious and unfiltered side of nursing, from nursing chaos to patient quirks. He tells it like it is, with humor, heart, and a little caffeine.
Whether you follow Nurse Brenden or you're meeting him for the first time, we're confident you'll enjoy the next 30 minutes. Brenden, welcome to Med-Surg Moments.
Hey guys, I'm so happy to be on. This is so exciting.
As is our tradition with all special guests, we'd like to begin at the beginning. Tell us your story.
I am originally from Michigan, and I moved out of Michigan 2 years ago to South Carolina just because I couldn't deal with the winters and because of a situation I had with a past relationship. Nursing was probably my one true calling, and I'm so glad that I did end up picking it because I knew 1 year in it was where I was supposed to be. Originally, I wanted to do dentistry, but then I decided that I didn't want to look in people's mouths all day. When I first started, when I was a new grad, I was like, what am I doing? Like, I have no clue what is going on half the time. I feel stupid all the time. But honestly, like, I wouldn't have any other way. I made a video where I was pretending to rizz up my charge nurse because I didn't want to take up an admission. I was like, you know what, that'd be a funny TikTok. So I posted it and it ended up getting almost 1 million views. I was like, oh my God, wait, people might think I'm funny. So I just decided to keep doing it. And then here we are. I've been a nurse for almost 3 years. started out working on a cardiac PCU, and I worked there for about 1.5 years, and then I moved to Charleston. I work on a general step-down unit now. It's step-down, but it's such Med-Surg vibes that I feel like I work on a Med-Surg floor, so that's how I get all my content ideas.
I feel like there's been so many experiences in my own Med-Surg practice. Like, you had to laugh. Otherwise, you might fall apart. You might not make it to the next little bit. And so you have to laugh. And that relationship with your coworkers that you portray in your content too, like, that is everything. Everything in sustaining, I think, a long career in Med-Surg type areas.
You have to laugh because honestly, that place in itself is a comedy show. I actually get excited to go to work sometimes because I'm like, you know what? I need a good laugh. And these people just make me just chuckle every time I'm in there.
I was actually really excited when I heard that we were going to be interviewing you because I had seen your content before. I think nurses are like the worst people to hang out with because all we do is talk about nursing, but our stories are so funny. You just have to decompress somehow. Like Sam said, if you don't laugh about it, you'll just cry.
Yeah, and I think that's just such an experience too. Like when I was a new grad, I used to get so like overwhelmed, and then I finally just realized you do have to just laugh about it. And honestly, I think nursing humor is funny to everyone. If you don't find it funny, I don't know. I feel like there's something wrong up there. Like, I think it's just hilarious no matter who you are.
I do have a question. The nurse that you have beef with in your videos, is it Sydney or is it Cindy? Because if it's Sydney, I want my Daisy Award.
I want my Daisy Award. It's Cindy.
Okay. Because I saw your video about when Cindy got, I thought it was Sydney, and you're mad she got a Daisy Award. And I was like, oh, not my Daisy Award.
It's my Daisy Award. Oh my God. That's so funny. I love that.
I was going to ask if Cindy was based off of a real charge nurse besides my charge nurse.
Honestly, it could be any bad charge nurse, but Cindy is actually based off a real charge nurse that I dealt with in the past. I don't work with her anymore. Her and I just had major problems all the time. So much stupid stuff. Most of it was her just being lazy and me calling her out on it. And so I just basically fuel my fire for my videos with my past experiences with her.
Do you think she knows? Do you think she's seen your videos?
Oh, I hope so. I hope she sees it. But I did change the name. I didn't go that crazy.
The names have been changed, but the divorces are real?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where if you know, you know, and if the shoe fits, then.
If you think it's about you, then it's probably about you.
I think nursing is funny, but we're all nurses, so of course we think it's funny. And then I've had nurse friends call me and they say, I got to talk to someone because my husband doesn't understand it because he won't think it's funny. The humor is universal. It's just our situations are so specific.
Brenden, I'm very particular with one of the posts that you have regarding the towel teddy tutorial.
Hey guys, so last week I posted this and you guys want a tutorial on how to do it. And I use these things for my confused patients all the time and they love it. Just for the clarification, I am on my lunch break and I'm doing this instead of eating. So the supplies that you'll need is 3 tourniquets and a towel. That's it. So the first thing you want to do is fold the towels like.
How did you come up with that idea? It's so cute.
I had a patient, she was convinced that she had a baby. Originally, I ended up getting dragged on TikTok because I made this stuffed animal type turkey thing. And people gave me so much hate because they were like, that's not a turkey. Like, what are you doing? Like, if I was your patient, I'd be scared. So I made the teddy bear in place of that. And that one got way better feedback. But now I've been making it for my patients. I've had so many people, especially lately, that just think that they're pregnant or like have had a baby and they just like want something to hold. And as soon as you give them that little teddy bear, it instantly calms them down. And they're really cute. Honestly, they're fun to make. I'm at the nurse's station just rolling towels and just giving them out to people. And it's so fun.
That is very creative. That's very innovative. I'll be just rolling towels. Here, your towel folded.
The folding towel trick until they get sick of it. They're like, I've been folding towels all day.
Brenden, what do your coworkers think of your popularity in your channel? Do you think they ever get nervous that they're going to end up as a character in a video?
Actually, the Daisy Award video that you're talking about, someone thought that I was talking about them because they had just gotten a Daisy Award. And I was like, oh my God, no. Like, I'm not talking about you, I promise. Like, that was just an idea. But all my coworkers have been, for the most part, very supportive, and they like want to be in the videos. A lot of them said, like, if you ever need me to like be a character or like a patient or something like that, just let me know. So it's been really nice to have all their support too.
Have you run into any issues with like your employer knowing about your following and all the videos that you've been making?
I did. Originally, when I was first starting out doing the whole content creation, I would film some of my videos in the break room and different areas. And one of my coworkers showed my manager. And so that was the only issue that I had with it, but I haven't had anything since.
That would be a fine line to walk.
Yeah, it is kind of nerve-wracking sometimes, but at the end of the day, like I am still there just for like the patients and everything. So I am going to advocate for them, and I'll rant my feelings out too, because I didn't do anything wrong. If I did do something wrong, I'd admit it.
One of my favorite videos was mainly because of the CGI style level of effects you put into them, with the urinal flying through the air. That's one of my favorite effects you've done. How long would you say a video takes from start to finish? Maybe from conception to posting?
So I'm constantly just thinking of like little ideas that I could make into skits. So they're all just kind of up in my head. But for the actual filming part of it, I would say it probably takes about like 20 to 30 minutes. If I didn't have my roommate Sophia, she's in a lot of my videos too, it would take so much longer. So I'm very thankful for her. And she understands my humor and understands what my vision is with these different skits. I don't know what I'm going to do when I don't live with her anymore. That's a problem for another day. But I would say no more than half an hour, I would say.
Is Sophia also a nurse?
She is. And she actually just started making content too, because she was like, I think I could do this too. And so I'm like, do it. I think everyone should do it.
You did mention about how your first video got viral. Can you tell us more about what that video is all about?
I was supposed to get a patient, and it was like 6:30 a.m., but there was a couple different people that had an open room. And so I was trying to convince my charge nurse, who is one of my best friends. I was like, so like, what if I take you out on like a date or something? Like, would you give the patient to someone else? And so that's just kind of how it transpired. And then I guess people just really loved it.
It's like when you try to convince Betty to stay another night.
It's so funny that Betty's just became such like what it is too. Like everyone's just like knows who Betty is.
911, what's your emergency?
Please help me. This is Betty.
Med-Surg, this is Brenden.
Hi, this is Harper with the police department. I'm calling about Betty. She said that you guys are starving her and she's being held against her will. And she would just like to have someone...
Betty, did you call the police and tell them that we're starving you again?
You're dang right I did.
Why?
Because I haven't had anything to eat.
Betty, you are NPO because they think you have a bowel obstruction.
And Betty's not even based off like anything. Like Betty's based off a cat. I was at my friend's house and they had this old raggedy cat that was like 20 years old, and its tail made this weird like twitching thing. And I was like, oh my God, Betty, I love you. And that's just how Betty came to be. I think she survived 18 lives at this point, and that's just how I envisioned my Betty being too.
I think everyone's had their Betty.
Everyone has had their Betty.
I think that's really what it comes down to, is like, it's just so relatable. Every single thing that you put out there, we've either experienced the exact same thing or something really similar. And again, just like looking back and you have to laugh.
I really admire the authenticity and the courage to do it, because it does require bravery and a lot of courage to do that. So thank you for doing it, because you make us laugh and you also inform patients and also us nurses. So thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I'm so glad that it's actually like making people laugh, because like that's one of my favorite things to do. Even before I was a content creator, I feel like it's my purpose to like make people laugh, and I just like to see people smile. So the fact that my content's like making people do that is honestly like the best feeling in itself.
I have a question. So besides being here with us today on Med-Surg Moments, what kind of other opportunities have come to you from your content creation?
I recently was just on Scrub Hacks. Her name is Lindsay Shelton. Do you guys know who she is?
I feel like I've heard of Scrub Hacks before, but maybe not her actual name.
She's a very popular nursing creator and she's amazing. And she actually just invited me on her podcast right after you guys did. But I was like such a short notice thing. I literally went from Charleston to Jacksonville in like a day. Like it was a whole thing, but that was amazing meeting her. I was following her since nursing school. So that was incredible. I went to NurseCon at Sea with Nurse Blake. And so that opportunity was amazing in itself, and meeting all the people that watched my videos. And that was really the first time that I got to hear people telling me that they really enjoyed my content. Like, cause I see the comments, I see the likes and everything, but I never had actually like heard it like face to face. So seeing all that, like I literally was getting emotional sometimes, and I'm not a crier, but like when all those people like come out of the elevator and be like, oh my God, I love you. I love your content. Like it literally had me tearing up.
That's so awesome.
As soon as I saw your video for the wilted daisy, I went right on Etsy and ordered my own. I said, that is the pinnacle of nursing. So Brenden has a video where he posts some of the swag from NurseCon, and one of the buttons was a wilted daisy.
Hey everyone, I'm at NurseCon at Sea right now, and before I get this video started, I just want to let everyone know I got the unlimited drink package, so take that as you will. So when you get on NurseCon at Sea, you get this little goodie bag, and it looks so cute. And we're gonna do a little haul of what's inside. One of the first things you get in the bag is the wilted daisy, and I think this is beautiful because I personally have never received a daisy in my 3 years of nursing, even though I provide immaculate care. But you know what? I'll take this wilted daisy.
And I think it was something for like the average floor nurse instead of the inspirational one.
The mediocre. You're okay, but like not great. Just doing their best.
Have you gotten any other memorable feedback from your fans? Negative feedback, strange feedback on your videos?
I would say most of the feedback I've gotten has been super positive, super supportive. I think people really do enjoy the content. I have gotten some negative things because I think people have this like false narrative in their head where they think nurses have to be like super serious all the time. They just think they have to be like straight to the point, like super serious and everything. But that's not true. We have to have a sense of humor. We have to be able to take care of people. You have to have both. And I think that's what makes someone a good nurse too. So hearing people like negatively talk about like my content, it just makes me upset too. But
Yeah, I think people don't understand that side of nursing of like, we enjoy it. And so it's fun. And like nurses go into nursing to make people feel good. Do you plan on staying bedside, or if the content continues to take off, are you going to pursue that full time?
I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I think that I will stay bedside no matter what, just because I do actually enjoy it. I do like going to work sometimes just for a laugh. You never know what's going to happen. It's just comical, and I do enjoy it. So I don't think I would ever leave bedside entirely. I do enjoy content creation. I think I'm going to do both for right now. We'll see.
I think we're all on that same page of things can change so fast, and there's so many different opportunities, and content creation and social media is obviously taken off exponentially in the last few years. And I think for people like nurses, you don't really go to nursing school thinking that you're going to end up in that field, but you never know what'll happen.
Yeah, I never thought my life would be like this because I've only been doing this for like 7 months now. And so if you would have told me that at this time, like last year, I would have laughed in your face because I never thought I'd be making videos. Like I never thought I would have a mannequin dressed in a patient gown. Like
that made me laugh so hard. Brenden, do you feel like your videos are positively impacting the nursing profession?
Gosh, this is such a mixed thing because I have had some comments where some people are like, your videos are scaring me to go into nursing. And that's never my intention. Like I really am just doing this to like help make people laugh. Like I don't want to deter people from going into nursing because I do think it's such a great profession. But for the most part, I do think it is helping positively just because so many people say that they think about my situations and they like laugh and it gets them through their shifts. And I do enjoy hearing that. So I would say mostly positive.
I got a 2-part question, but the parts don't match. What shift do you work? And do you have a favorite video that you've created?
I work night shift. I think that's kind of obvious though. I'm a night shifter to the heart. My favorite video that I've ever made, I would have to say, is the one where I go in and the patient's possessed and they like levitate off the bed.
Honestly, Edna, I don't know if Ouija boards are allowed in the hospital, but I'll go ask. Edna, I talked to Cindy. Edna, why are you floating? Cindy, The patient's floating.
Yeah, they do that.
You know what? You can float up there all you want, but if that Foley comes out, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, Edna, I think that we should get back in bed. No. You know what, girl? I agree. I think you should just stay up there. I think you look really good.
Cracking up laughing the whole time. Like, I think that one probably took at least an hour because I could not stop laughing because just seeing that mannequin hanging from my roommate's fan, I was like, what are we doing right now? Like, why do we have this mannequin strung up from the ceiling? I go back to it and laugh sometimes just because I love it so much.
Do you record them all on your phone and edit on your phone, or is it on a Mac or something?
I've edited it all on my phone, and that's been such a process learning about the editing everything too. I've learned everything by just like watching YouTube videos and kind of just trial and error. I should get a Mac and actually edit on that like a real creator.
I mean, why? You don't necessarily need it. You're doing well without it. I think that's kind of nice to show too that people can be successful with just what they have. You don't need to have all the fancy or best equipment or knowledge. Like, you just learn it.
Yeah.
I know you said you met Nurse Blake on the cruise, but are there any other nursing influencers that you take inspiration from?
I would definitely say Nurse Blake, Nurse John, Scrub Hacks for sure. Nurse Nate. Nurse Nate is a newer content creator too, like me. I think he's so funny too. There's so many others, but I'm literally blinking. Those would probably be the top.
I think one of my other favorite ones is Paige Slayton. Hers are really funny as well. I'm not sure if she's a med-surg nurse, but they seem very med-surg coded.
Med-surg coded to the heart.
Yes. What advice would you have for our listeners who are maybe thinking about med-surg nursing, or maybe why you've stayed for a few years?
I would definitely say don't be afraid of it. I think it's such a thing on social media that like people get scared to go into med-surg nursing. But I think it gets such a false negative narrative in a way. But in a way, I think it sets such a foundation for your nursing career. I mean, it's fun. You meet some of your best friends there. It's just, you're like a big family. I think med-surg nurses are a different breed too, compared to anyone that I've ever met. Like, we all just kind of seem to have each other's same type vibe. And I say, if you're a new grad, don't be afraid of it. Go for it.
I think we're always fighting the fight of advocating for med-surg as a specialty. Often it's at the bottom of the list, right? You've got ED, ICU, labor and delivery, all those things. But those of us that have been there, done it, stuck it out for a few years, I think we all know there's so many great things to learn and for med-surg to offer, and funny things to happen for sure.
Exactly. And I think that's what's made me stick around so long too, is the fact that it literally is comedy. Sometimes, like, some of the stuff that happens. We had a guy, I just worked last night, and he was just like trying to climb over the bed rail. And it was just, I had to be their moment, but it was comical just like watching it. Cause I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on right now?
So you've got bedside nursing and content creating. What else is out there for you? What do you see yourself doing?
I would love one day to be on some type of reality TV show. I would love to be on Big Brother. I think that'd be so fun. I do a lot of reality TV type skits too, because I do feel like being a med-surg unit is kind of like being on a reality TV show sometimes. So I just think it would be so fun. And I feel like I'm already trained based on my experience being a nurse.
Yes. Yeah, I do love your confessionals when you do the background.
Oh, I love them so much. I'm just sitting in my kitchen and my roommates just looking at me like wondering what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't even know half the time. Sometimes I just start talking and I have no clue.
Okay, bye guys. I'll see you next week.
Hold on. Get back here. You need to pass the 7 a.m. protonics.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. You didn't pass my 7 p.m. meds. Cindy's been working almost every single day shift, night shift, 24 hours a day, because her third divorce settlement has not gone through yet, so she needs money. But it's not my fault.
Brenden, I do have an off-topic question. Right now, we're really struggling with the identity of nursing, how people perceive us as nurses, especially when COVID happened. What are your thoughts on the impact of your videos on the general public regarding perceptions of nursing?
I think people need to just realize, like, we're there to take care of people, but we're also humans too. People forget that sometimes. And it's so bad that like nurses do get treated the way they do sometimes, because like I feel like we're all just kind of there to help. I feel like a punching bag sometimes. Family members, the patients, you never know what's going to happen in that place. It is so sad that people do get treated like that. I think that kind of deters people from going into being a nurse. But I feel like there's so many positives that come with the career too. And I hope people see that in my videos too, even though they are so chaotic. A lot of people don't realize what we actually do. I think people think we just pass a med, but I don't think people realize all the other stuff that comes with it. Hopefully people realize that like I do enjoy my job.
I think your videos are great because aside from the humor, it allows some of us to feel that form of validation. People see that I go to work and I get beat up, or people see that I get urine tossed at me, or people see that I get yelled at for 8 or 12 hours a day by my coworkers, by my managers, by my patients. And I think anyone that sees your videos knows that it's fun and they know that you love what you do. And it's a great path to take.
They're just a lighthearted way to expose the raw truths about nursing to current nurses, to new nurses, and to the public in general.
I hope so. I think everyone should be a nurse, honestly, at this point.
Well, believe it or not, we're out of time. But Brenden, before we go, tell our listeners where they can find you and what the future holds for Nurse Brenden.
You guys can find me on TikTok for sure. I am a huge fan of TikTok. If it ever goes away, I don't know what's going to happen. Instagram, Facebook. As for the future, honestly, who knows? I'm open to whatever. If the stars align and I end up on Big Brother, I wouldn't complain.
It's truly been an inspiration, an honor, and a pleasure having you on this special episode of Med-Surg Moments.
Yeah, it's been an honor being here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
To our listeners, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
We look forward to connecting with you on the next episode of Med-Surg Moments, the AMSN podcast.
In the meantime, we encourage you to subscribe to Med-Surg Moments wherever you listen to podcasts.
To reach us, use hashtag Med-Surg Moments on your social posts.
Or send us an email at amsnpod@amsn.org. That's amsnpod@amsn.org.
We are all AMSN members, and if you love Med-Surg Moments, we invite you to become a member of AMSN. You can learn more at www.amsn.org.
Finally, the content within the Med-Surg Moments podcast represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the co-hosts and may not necessarily reflect the views, thoughts, and opinions of the Academy of Medical Surgical Nurses.
Until next time, this is Eric,
Mary Tess,
Sam,
Kellye,
Marcella,
and Sydney. And always remember, Med-Surg Moments is a moment in our lives and a moment in our Med-Surg careers that makes a huge difference.